Hello, I'm Stuart Bloor. I've had a busy day. Sunday, I've been to church, straight home, couple of sandwiches, down the canal, catch the last 2.5 hours or so of light. Anyway, I'm rough fishing, and in a couple of recent blog entries, if you do follow my angling journal on a regular basis, then you'll know that I've been targeting the species. I've already done a session prior to this filming, and so I'm going to show you a small clip right now. And I've caught, and I'm going to hold up to the camera, it's quite lively, a rough. Look at that, beautiful. And I'm going to show it from the other side because it's still got the worm and the hook where it should be, in the side of the mouth. The last thing we want is for a fish to become deep hooked, therefore strike in time. The question that no doubt you're asking yourself if you're an angler is, how can you target rough to the exclusion of other species? Well, the answer is quite simply, you can't. It's not like sticking a big dead bait out for pike when you know pretty much that's the fish that you'll catch. Although having said that, I have caught carp and tench before now on sardine dead baits, but you know the point I'm making. Rough are at the other end of the scale. A, they're small, and B, they will eat worm and maggot, which of course every other fish in the venue will eat as well. So what you have to do is A, and this is the most important thing, find out where they are. Location is important with rough. They're not everywhere. They're not like roach and perch, for example, where you can find them on the smallest of ditches to the biggest of gravel pits. They are quite localized. So first of all, locate them. Secondly, do what I'm doing now. I find this a great time for fishing for rough, into dark, well up to dark and then into it. So target them specifically in the sense that A, you know they're there in reasonable numbers, and B, go at the right time. And as I've had a couple of blog entries already in recent months, I've proved that you can do that. First fish, as I say, you can't separate rough from other species, can you? It's a small roach, size 10 hook, a worm, and fished over red maggots and brown crumb. So you'd expect to catch perch, wouldn't you? Well, I am, but you never know what turns up, do you? As anglers, we like our designated clothing, don't we? I can remember as a kid, I would wear 2 pairs of trousers, 4 pairs of socks, and a pair of Wellingtons, one size too big to accommodate that, 3 jumpers, a t-shirt, and my dad's donkey jacket with Bagridge Brick written on the back, a company that no longer exists. But now, of course, we have designated clothing, don't we? And my latest acquisition is this on my head from Kit Shack. I can't exactly call it a hat because it's so versatile that it can become everything from a scrunchie to a wristband, and as far as on your head is concerned, it can be a bandana right the way through to a beanie and everything else in between. It has inbuilt insect repellent which lasts a considerable number of washes, although at this time of the year, of course, insects might not be necessarily a major problem, but certainly today, where it's not warm by any stretch of the imagination, certainly not freezing, it's been perfect for keeping the chill off my head, because as we all know, we lose a lot of heat out of our head when we go fishing. So I'm looking forward to putting this particular item of kit through its paces over the coming months. Not much in terms of action, but I've just caught a perch, as you'd expect, fishing worm over red maggots and brown crumb, and he's holding up his dorsal of his own accord for the camera. I'm back for a third and final outing of the week, and I did actually catch when I switched the camcorder off on the second session, and you can see those fish on the screen right now, including a nice perch. I'm here for a shorter time tonight, just a couple of hours into dark, and I've just had a perch, first cast, and it's in the landing net, so I'm going to show you that in a moment. So I'm getting a few little taps on there as well, even as I speak. So I think this could be a more productive evening. Of course, I don't show all the fish to the camera, especially the small ones, but when I keep catching them, that's okay, because I know that the next strike could be the monster that I'm after, or in this case, rough, relatively speaking. I think actually just to catch a rough is an achievement. And I've got one on here as well. And it's another perch. So I'm going to net this, and I'll be able to show you two to the camera. 2 in 2 casts. Not bad, eh? A brace of perch. I just caught very brief footage of a kestrel hovering just over the field on the far bank. One of the problems that I'm having right now is typical of this time of the year, leaves on the water. Same thing happened again, turned the camcorder off, and I caught actually the best fish of the week. It was a chub, but he didn't fight like a chub, and for some time I thought I got a really nice perch on. However, it wasn't to be. But I've enjoyed myself this week, that's the most important thing. And as I've said already, especially with fish like Ruffe, you can't exclude other species, can you? And actually, neither would I want to. I've enjoyed the week, and whatever you're fishing for, whatever type of fishing you engage with, ultimately it has to be about enjoyment. I'll be back next week. Out and about yourself, as always, tight lines.